What's up, y'all? We finally got a winner in the, coincidentally, right before we went live. So I'm going to wait a couple seconds, let some people jump on. One technical note, and this is probably going to come up anyway in the comments for those with an astute ear. This guitar is down a half step, so this stuff will sound a half step lower than normally. So I will reference both just while we're the little things that we do to jam. I'll talk about obviously the flat key and the actual key that it would sound like if, I mean, this isn't really here. I mean, this was for the lesson. I've already recorded the video, so don't worry too much. I know this is probably kind of blurry in the background. I used a green marker, so it's not real clear in this live video. But yeah, don't worry about this. This is all native to C major. The actual lesson video that I recorded, that'll be uploaded in a little while. It actually won't be as long now because I upgraded my internet. Yes, it's quite a bit faster now. Yeah, that stuff will be in 440, so that when we say C, it sounds like C, it doesn't sound like B. That's what's going on right here. This guitar is down. I've had this guitar for a million years, and I guess the last band I played this in, and I might have actually used it with the Chiwis. This guitar is down a half step, so you know that's an A, but it's going to sound like an A flat. So if you're trying to play along at home and you're like, my guitar's not in tune with his, this is a half step down. So you may have noticed that did a little post earlier with pyramid and some very cryptic language as far as what was coming. So yes, I know Adam Haley was onto it from the very beginning. So he was really shouldn't have been allowed to play because I knew he was going to get it. And Lee Aguilar also got it right. We're doing Lydian today. So Lydian, that's also my daughter's name for those of you who know me well. That is not a coincidence. Lydian was always my favorite music tonality growing up. I use it a lot compositionally. I love the sound of it. It's without getting too deep in these things. I like to keep these things lighthearted. Lydian was a big part of my life growing up as a musician. Just affected me in a number of ways, and so that is why my daughter's name is Lydian, and this is absolutely what it references. So if there's anybody out there that's maybe not, you know, a musician per se, but you're curious where my daughter's name came from, this is where it came from. So yeah, Steve Vai is the first place I heard Lydian. I don't know if anybody gathered that by the old school flower gem that I'm jamming on today. This is an old, I believe, not the first gem, but one of the first production models. This was in 1988 is when this particular guitar was built. And I did not buy it new. I got, anybody from New Orleans that remembers rock and roll music? Rock and roll music actually in New Orleans, there was that little sort of hole-in-the-wall store out there. This was hanging on the wall in there on consignment for like a few $100s. It was ridiculous how stupid of a deal it was. And even at like 16 years old, I think I was, when I got this, maybe 17, I knew that this was like a $2,000 guitar. So I begged my dad to loan me a few dollars, put it on layaway, and I think I mowed like 1,000 lawns to save up the rest of the money and be able to buy this thing. So yeah, so I got my Steve Vai shirt on, I got the Vai guitar, so we have to play Lydian, right? We do, just a little bit anyway. So for those of you who want the Cliff Notes version of the modes lesson, Lydian's the fourth mode of C major, is the key we always use for simplicity's sake. And that means F, C, D, E, F, F's the fourth degree. We play F to F to get Lydian over C major. So as usual, I'm going to play a little sort of rinky-dink C major stuff to let you guys ear acclimate to major first. And I'm going to talk a little bit that after. That's what I meant by compositional content, is there's some really neat things you can do when you're going to use these modes rather than just starting out in the mode. And I'll talk about that after. But let's establish a baseline. Let's play C major, which again, this is technically going to be B major because this guitar is a half step down. So if you're playing along, this is going to be B major. For the sake of the lesson, we're talking C major because I like to keep everything copacetic with what the actual YouTube lessons are. So let's fire off our little cheese ball groove here. This has got a little piano thing in it too, which I think helps sort of outline the chord. So here's our C major scale. This is the one we learned way back. Right? Good old C major all day long. It's, you know, it's fun, it's happy, it's kind of boring. What happens when we do our little trick and we just drop the chord to, we're going to play an F major. We know the 4 is major. That's in the lessons. If you're like, what is he talking about? Go look at the lessons. It's in there. We got a little formula for knowing what the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is. The 4 is major in a major scale. So we just look at the 4th degree. We go, okay, it's F. We know F is major. We're going to play an F major chord. I'm just going to shift the drum machine to F now, like we always do when we do these little demos. Again, for me, it's E major. We're talking F, though, just for the sake of argument, for all of this to be working. We're in C major, but I'm technically in E major because I'm down a half step. Let's go ahead and shift this to F major. Play the same scale. In fact, I'm actually going to start in the exact same spot. Let's just listen to what it sounds like real quick. That doesn't sound very much like C major to me. And I think most of you will agree that that's a very different sound than we got when we just played our little C major scale. Right? Just totally different. That's got that nice, happy, triumphant sort of sound. When you go to that 4 chord, which, you know, one of the things, I talk about this on the YouTube lesson too that's going to be uploaded. One of the things that gives Lydian that sound is that flat 5. There's that sharp 4, flat 5, that tritone. So if you got, you know, F, that makes all the difference in that scale doing what it does. Because when you play F major, it's got a certain sort of happy tonality. As soon as you sharp that 4, very different sound. Very, very cool. So as far as the impact goes that I was talking about with compositions, one of the tricks I like to use a lot, and I think I think a lot of artists use this, and you may not know it when you're just jamming on a tune, but you know, if let's say you want to write a song with Lydian, if you just come out the gate playing Lydian, I mean, you can do that, that's fine, but what can increase the impact tenfold is setting the listener up, I like to call it, using a different mode. It can be a different key, but even if it's just diatonic to C major, even if we just play with these 7 chords, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, if we were to say, you know, set them up with like the 6, you know, an A minor. And then you drop the 4 chord on them. It's like a whole different ball game to me, as far as where you can take the listener when you sort of catch them off guard and catch them by surprise. I mean, hey, if the song calls for Lydian for the whole thing, obviously that's what you do. But I think it's really fun, especially if you're just playing around with these modes and practicing them, and you're finding stuff to jam over, or you're programming chords in like some software or a drum machine or something. try picking some random ones, because it really kind of all works. It's great for learning to improvise too, because it's going to make you focus on different notes. You know, when you play an A minor chord, like I just did, even though it is all the same notes as C major, you're not going to play the same things you would play, because the A minor chord is going to pull you to the strong tones of A minor, versus if I played that F chord or an F major 7, whatever the case may be, you're going to get a whole different set of sounding licks, because that F is pulling you. It's emphasizing. So play around with that stuff. Try just playing other chords in the, you know, in the keys, E minor, whatever. Like even what I just did, I just played C major for a little while. I went to an F major. The 1 to the 4. It will take that same 7 notes and they sound completely different. Pretty fun stuff. That's Lydian, you know, that's Lydian in a nutshell. That's sort of my jam for today. The YouTube lesson will be up in a little while. It takes probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half for it to get uploaded to YouTube. Before it was like 3 or 4 hours. So faster internet is a good thing. It's worth the extra $12 or whatever it was for the month. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little Lydian thing. I certainly dig it. Obviously, I've got dressed up for the gig, for the Lydian gig. Yeah, so let me know how you're liking this stuff. Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Obviously, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to keep the video, get notified when the videos are coming. By the way, let me mention, I may be moving all those guitar videos. I'm going to let everybody know, and I'm going to keep the other channel up for a long time because it's mine and I don't have to delete it. But I'm probably going to port all the videos over to my other channel. Those of you who may know, I'm into the health and fitness game too, and I've got a fitness channel that has a bunch of subscribers. And I got a ton of videos on there for push-up tips and setup tips and all that kind of stuff, as well as my transformational video. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything over so it's organized better. And there'll be playlists. You know, if you don't want to look at fitness videos, there'll be playlists for guitar videos too. I just think it's easier for me to keep track of everything if I'm trying to juggle 2 YouTube channels. Because I know if you guys that are following me along, I mean, I'm doing like at least a video a day, sometimes 2. When I do these lives, I edit them and I upload them to YouTube as well, and they get cataloged there, so you can go back and watch them on YouTube later if you don't feel like scrolling through my news feed and trying to find them. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So for those of you who have subscribed and who are following the lessons, they'll keep coming up. I'll just be putting them over on the other channel. So I'll do plenty of posts when that happens. I'll have links for the other channels, so they'll be right there. There'll be playlists for guitar, you know, 101, mode, series, all that stuff. It'll all be there together. I think it'll be better organized for everyone. It'll be easier for me to keep track of too, especially when you guys comment on videos and stuff. I won't be juggling trying to figure out which YouTube channel the comments on, all that nonsense. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the Steve Vai sort of inspired Lydian jam. I enjoyed playing this guitar again because I hardly ever play this thing. It's more of an ornament now, but I do pull it down every now and then when I'm in that kind of mood. It's a good guitar to play Lydian on. So, yeah. Y'all have fun. Unless somebody's got any questions, I'm going to go get that video uploaded and get it see Philippe there. Yes, sir. You're welcome. Yeah, these videos are fun for me too, so yeah, man, I don't mind doing them. I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing this stuff. I've gotten some comments already from some folks that have messaged me and said, they wished it would have been explained to them this way, and that's why I'm doing it, because I was explained it probably 5 different ways until it made sense to me, and the way I organized it in my head was what I'm teaching now. And I find this to be the easiest way to get it under your fingers quickly and get your head around it, because there really is. If you go look up like modes books or modes videos, you're going to see a bunch of different ways to organize the same set of information. And it can get very, very confusing. And I probably read most of them that were released back about 20 years ago when I was trying to get my head around this stuff. So yeah, I'm glad it's helping those of you who are playing along, and I thank everybody for jumping on and watching and hanging out a little bit. Oh, I'm also getting a low battery indicator on the phone, so yes, Adam, thank you, sir. I know Adam knows this guitar very well. And as I told him before, we were joking around, this guitar is not for sale and probably won't ever be for sale. This was a very cool find. And, you know, as a kid growing up, like, this is the guitar Steve I had on a magazine cover, and, like, I had to have it. So being able to have it is a very, very cool thing. So it's definitely a piece of my guitar history. I do need to get the, I don't know what happened to the pink knobs. I guess I lost them. I got black knobs on here. It's supposed to have pink knobs. So I'm going to order some pink knobs and bring this thing back to stock soon. And maybe next time we jam on this one, I'll have I'll know where the bar is. You kind of feel obligated to have the whammy bar on the guitar if you're talking about Steve I and playing a Steve I guitar, and playing Lydian for that matter. I might have committed some sort of minor infraction doing a Lydian jam on a floral gym while wearing a Steve I shirt, and I don't have the whammy bar on the guitar. I apologize for that to those Vi fanatics who are offended. We'll fix that next time. Cool. All right. Well, before the phone dies and I don't have a chance to sign off, I'll tell everybody, hey, thanks again for watching. You know, the YouTube channel. Check it out. There's a bunch more videos there. If you're just kind of catching on to this, I've got all the modes up to Lydian. Tomorrow, we get to do the 5th mode, which is another one of my favorites. Probably very, very close behind Lydian, if not right up there. With, let's see, all these modes can be applied to a bass guitar. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's the same stuff. It's the same notes. If you're, you know, that actually brings up an interesting point of discussion. And I don't have a lot of time. Maybe I'll do a separate video on this because my phone's going to die. But very quickly, yes, you know, bass, again, since you're playing the same set of notes that guitar players are, if a guitar player is laying down a major chord, you have an option to play, say, major or Lydian. You know, a major chord, when it's just a major chord, you've got options as far as whether it's going to be, like, let's say I just played a G major. And building the bass line off of that. Or, if nobody's playing any other color tones, it's just roots, thirds, and fifths, and you've got freedom to play whatever bass line you want, you could sharp that forward, just like we talked about. And all of a sudden, you've created Lydian out of that particular chord. So yeah, you can apply this stuff in a very cool way on bass or any instrument for that matter. I take advantage of it a lot in the band as a guitar player, because a lot of times, even though we have the keys, a lot of times it's rock songs and they're just basic major chords. There's not like 9s and 13s and stuff in there that start to dictate what scale you have to play. So, you know, like on Jump, we played Jump by Van Halen. I got bored of playing C major some years ago at the end of Jump. I started playing Lydian at the end of it, because it's just C. So I play some C major and I play some C Lydian. They both work as long as the band doesn't play something else that makes it a different tonality. If they're just riding a C chord and it's, you know, we know C, E, and G are part of C major. If that's all everybody's playing, I could play Lydian all day long, and it sounds cool. It sounds different. It sounds like I changed keys, which, I mean, I did. I changed keys, but all I did was shift one note, and all of a sudden I made the whole song sound like, you know, different than it was. So, you sing again? I didn't hear it. I'm not sure. I didn't sing anything. Probably not going to sing today, but maybe play. I'm not sure what Lee is asking me. I'll hang on for a couple more minutes, see if I can get some clarification, and we'll either sign off in a couple minutes or my phone will just die. We'll see what happens first. I hope it doesn't die. I don't know what the actual battery drain is. It's probably a lot when we're shooting these live videos, so I may not have but more of a couple of minutes. So, yeah, this is fun stuff, though. Applies to every instrument, and it really opens up. If nothing else, it makes your practice more fun. If you're practicing C major, and you're bored to tears practicing C major, throw some chords in, like I said, you know, do an A minor, maybe do a G major, a D minor. You'll be practicing modes without even knowing you're practicing modes, just because you're practicing the C major scale against different chords, and you'll be able to draw different tonalities out of those, you know, out of those different chords just by playing that same scale, that same C major scale. So, cool. All right. The battery is definitely going to die soon. So, thanks again, everybody, for watching. I massively appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the support. Check it out. Video will be up in a little while of this on YouTube with the official lesson walkthrough. Because, you know, the lives, I kind of just, we jam and we talk and I play some stuff. But the videos are way more concise and I actually explain all of this sort of in detail. And that's what we're doing right now. Each lesson, we're going to break down each mode. So let's, I'm going to sign off, and if you're interested in more Lydian, the lesson will be up in a little while. Thanks for watching. I will, you're welcome, Philippe. Thank you, sir. Thanks for hanging out and you know, checking it out. I will see you guys tomorrow with the next mode. If you're following along, you probably know what the next mode is, but I'm probably doing another surprise unveiling tomorrow too, because I like this one a lot too. 4 and 5 are definitely my two favorites, at least right now. So tomorrow we'll get into the 5 chord and explore some stuff we can play over the 5 chord. All right, adios guys, see you later.